So how do you reconnect to yourself? Hi, my name is Solera. I'm a spiritual channel. I'm also the author of the Life Manual Trilogy, which is a series of texts given to me by the spiritual guides to upgrade humanity and move forward their consciousness. Okay, so today I have an amazing question from another member in our Facebook group. He asks, how can I reconnect with myself? So I'm going to ask that. Yeah, so the way to reconnect with your core self, a lot of times, and this happens to both men and women. For example, women, sometimes they get lost in the relationship. Maybe they get lost in being a mother. They sort of have given up, their self, this core in order to take on a role. Okay, and men do the same thing. Maybe they are a provider for the family, they're very busy working, they're trying to prove themselves in society, through their career, and they've given themselves over to the job. Okay, so very often that happens. And when you have lost your sense of self, very often it's because you have placed the importance on something else outside of yourself. And very often it's a role. Okay, that's usually how people work, at least where you are in your consciousness. It's a job. It's taking on a role to be a caretaker somehow. Maybe you see yourself as like a world-saving person. You've sort of given up your own identity, and then you shift your identity to something else. Okay, it could be an organization. Some people are super religious. They attach their identity completely to the church. And we're not saying anything bad about it, but you can get lost in church. And so we say, when you have lost your sense of self, in order to reconnect to yourself, you sort of have to let go a little. Well, that's the most difficult part, because you're so comfortable in where you are. You don't really want to go anywhere. You say, I'm comfortable being here. This is my job, it pays me, I'm a mother, I'm a good mother, blah, 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 blah. Okay, you have a lot of reasons for why you should take on the role that you're taking on. And it's not to say, if your mother should abandon your children, or if you are really good at your job, you should quit your job today. But we say, yeah, be there at your work, do what's necessary, but start to remove yourself. It's like take one step back. If your face is like over here, it's just too close. You want to shift back a little bit, and you can look at the situation sort of like from over here, like, okay, maybe I don't need to get all worked up. Okay, so this is usually what happens, because you're getting so worked up over like a thing that you've attached yourself to. Okay, like, okay, this is my thing, you say. Well, we say when you act like that, very, very often is you get lost in the process. And over time, because you've identified as being somebody's husband, somebody's son, somebody's brother, somebody's employee, or whatever, it's like, where is the I, right? Your I just becomes a series of titles. We see the I is your soul. Okay, the core self is that you and God are the same, and we would say it again and again. Okay, you and God are the same. So if you and God are the same, means you are part of God, you are God itself. Okay, that consciousness is same. Okay, you can say God, you can say universe, you can say a spirit, whatever. So because you've lost touch with that connection, and you've attached yourself to everything else, well, of course you're lost. And of course, you don't really know who you are. You don't even know what your interests are. You don't know what you like. You don't know what you don't like. Maybe you don't even know what kind of eggs you like to eat. There's a movie that the channel has watched, but we find it very funny. This woman, she dates all kinds of guys, and every time she dates a guy, she goes to, she becomes very attached to them, and she eats the same kind of egg as the guy. Okay, so she doesn't even know what kind of egg she likes to eat, because she has attached her identity to the relationship, right? She does everything that they do, and she becomes who they want her to be instead of just being herself. So we see that happens very often to everybody. In order to sort of detach and reconnect to yourself, well, first of all, you have to recognize that you're very attached. And after you recognize you're very attached, you need to consciously, yes, through intention, through the mind, when you're so busy and you're lost in your job, recognize at the moment, oh, I'm getting too attached and too worked up about this issue that should just be a non-issue. So we say this is mainly the problem with most people, because they're just too attached. They think that they are this and this and this and this, and there's a huge list of who they should be. Okay, instead of recognizing, oh, if I am God or one, then okay, it's fun to take on this role, but I really don't need to get all worked up about it. This is not who I am. Okay, the who I am is much bigger. You can use the word bigger, but for us, it's not about size. Okay, it's really about consciousness, expansion of understanding, awareness of who you are. So this is, how we go about it and how we approach reconnecting to the self, is to recognize in the moment that you're lost. Oh, I need to pull myself back a little bit and see the bigger picture. So every day you just ask, I would like to see the bigger picture of who I am. I would like to see the bigger picture of who I am. I would like to see the bigger picture of who I truly am, not my identification with all the roles that I've taken on. Okay, so with that, we'll complete the reading for today. Okay, guys, so yeah, I really resonate with that one. It's so easy, to get lost. I think I tend to get lost in a relationship. I think I become somebody's girlfriend, and then that movie that they talked about is the Julia Roberts movie. Gosh, I don't know the name of it off the top of my head. It's by Julia Roberts, and The Runaway Bride. Yeah, she's in that movie. She's dating, different guys, right? And every time she dates a different guy, she likes whatever kind of egg that the guy likes to eat. It's so funny that the guys remind me of that movie. I haven't seen that movie in ages. But that's exactly what happens. She gets really lost in it. And so, yeah. Anyway, maybe it's time for you to watch that movie so you can see what she's doing wrong so you wouldn't do it yourself. Thanks so much to the person who's asking that question, and I will see you next time.